But with business, it's complicated. You must start off thinking that your idea is a bad one. I was just so amazed. Sometimes you persuade the decision, but you're there to educate them to make the right decision. It takes a successful system in order to be successful. Any business that you see out there has to have a good system in place. So ladies and gentlemen, today marks 1 year of us launching Broker Solutions Academy. Very important day, very important video. A little bit of an emotional video for me because, of course, this is my baby. This was my new venture. This is my new purpose, if you want to call it. We spend a lot of time at work, so more than even we do with our family members. And sometimes our careers can end up being our legacy. And this is part of my legacy, Broker Solutions Academy. I've been in the lending industry for over a decade, if you've been following me. And Broker Solutions Academy is something that I put my heart and soul and time and money. It was expensive to launch the course. And celebrating a year, I'm reflecting back on, what we accomplished this year. We've definitely have some students, the growth, some of the different challenges we've had in this growth with any new venture, with any new business. There's definitely going to be some challenges and how we learn from these challenges. So I'm here to just reflect and to share with you as my audience some of the things that we've done, some of the accomplishments that we've made, kind of just share with you our growth and kind of so you guys can also grow, come along with me as we're growing together here. And just let me see here. Let me do a little screen recording so I can show you guys some stuff as we are getting started here. So, and anyway, as I said, this is my baby, man. This is my baby. I want to reflect back on a quote, Elon Musk, one of the entrepreneurs that I follow. He says something towards the point of starting a business is like eating glass and staring at the abyss, or something like that. Starting a business is like eating glass and staring at the abyss. And I mean, it is kind of very true of a statement because you don't know what the hell is going to happen. Elon Musk said this, so it's been an interesting, but a very, very fulfilling year, and one of the things that I want to cover about today is what makes me different from my competitors is going to be the main topic as I reflect back on this year and what we've accomplished the year. So what makes me different? Let me just go ahead and straight up answer that question first, because that's probably going to be the title of this video. That's the reason why you came here. I always talk about passion plus execution equals results. I always talk about passion plus execution equals success. Now, what I believe I brought into this industry as it pertains to business loan broker training is number one, clarity, and number one, systems to give you the success you need to have personally and with your clients. I'm gonna repeat that. What we brought into the industry, not just me, my team, I have, amazing, my assistant, Miss Lynn, an amazing assistant. She's been with me and been patient with me for so long. Shout out to Miss Lynn. My amazing product manager, Miss Mary, we call her our mom. She's amazing. My YouTube editors, all of them from Erica to Harold to Mike, really good graphic designers. We've really worked our butt off, sacrificed personal time, family time to get us to where we are, today. And going back to what I said, I bring clarity and I bring systems because from what I observed with my experience with some of the training that I took, there was no clarity, and one of the ways that I brought clarity into this space is by introducing the 3 paths of lending. Background story, my experience and background is in residential loan origination real estate. When I do owner-occupied residential real estate back in, I did that first. I would say jokingly that you can blame me for what happened in 08 because I did a lot of subprime loans. And that specific industry was very structured. There was a CRM in place. There was a system, a process on how to pre-qualify, how to pre-underwrite. We had this thing called DU and we had this software called Point and you could input, your client's information. And this is back in 2008. That's a long time ago when we're talking about systems, internet, and all this other stuff. CRMs was not really a thing. I think Facebook was just popping off, So this is a long time ago. So me learning this, really understanding how it takes a successful system in order to be successful. Any business that you see out there has to have a good system in place. So I modeled that when I was building Pennington Consulting Group, and I took everything that I learned from my experience as a business loan broker, from my experience, how I even retained the information that I got. Because at the end of the day, as a consultant, what you are is in essence, you're there to educate your clients on how to make the right decision. Sometimes you persuade the decision, but you're there to educate them to make the right decision. You're not there to make the decision for them because you don't live the life. You're not there to shove MCAs down their throat because that's the only product you offer. You're not there to shove a specific product down their throat because that's the only thing that you offer. Credit card stacking, whatever it is. You're there to educate them based on the underlying facts after you evaluate the file property and let them know what they qualify for. That is a good business loan broker, and that's what business loan broker does. So I brought clarity in a sense of what I did is I introduced the concept of the three paths of lending, a different way the business loan broker can look at and see the lending marketplace as a whole, to take a bird's eye view. Link in the description if you haven't read my book. It's absolutely free. You definitely want to get that link in the description. And by the way, there's a mini course that specifically focuses on the three paths of lending. There's also going to be a description. $27 is what we're charging for a little small mini course on how you can understand the different products in the lending marketplace. So and this came about when I transitioned from owner-occupied residential real estate and I started learning about business lending product. I was just so amazed because keep in mind, I was just offering loans for people to buy houses. And I was in love with this product. I was in love with the professionalism of what I did. I was in love with the systems and how it was and how everything was structured. And now I'm over here. And initially I was like, wow, with all these different products. From the point of, there's a whole different, there's a business credit bureau, with Paydex and Duns number and all of this. And then I learned about SBA products, the SBA 504, the 7A. I don't know about you, but my mouth gets wet when I hear you talking about this stuff. It's like somebody that is passionate about cars. Okay, I'm passionate about business, loan products in essence. When it was somebody that's passionate about, I don't know, programming. You get excited when you hear some new programming language or whatever it is, or somebody is excited about crypto. There's a certain excitement that you get. I was wowed by SBA products, 7A, 504, SBA Express, and then equipment financing. And then I hear about hard money and it was amazing to me. And I was like, wow, this is just so much. I can offer all these products. I'm going to be a beast at this. Okay. So that's what I was thinking. Now, again, I can easily learn, comprehend, and read all these different loan matrices. But now it came a challenge when it was time for me to explain these products to a client to guide them through making the right decision. It was very easy when I was doing real estate. Dude, there's FHA that's conventional. It's based on your credit score. This is what you qualify for. These are the loan limits, whatever. It's very easy. This is an interest rate. This is, so depending on what the client's, credit score, credit profile, loan amount, it was a very simple decision to make. How long they're going to be in the property. And I was dealing with a lot of first-time home buyers as well. So it's a very easy decision for us to help them make. It was very easy to understand the products. But with the business, it's complicated. Sometimes even the way the interest rate is calculated, you have this thing called a factor rate over here. You have unsecured, secured. You have, it's a little bit more complexity, but I fell in love with it. And I had to figure out a way where I can better explain to the client. That's what came about the three paths of lending. And I created, my vision behind the book was to create a business funding Bible. Okay, to give you a full understanding as a business owner where you stand. Because one of the things that I noticed as well is the relationship between business owners and banks had completely changed. From where banks or bankers, you used to have bankers where you walk into a bank, there was people there that, if you were a business owner, they greeted you, they understood your business, that you sit down, you present them a business plan. I can tell you right now, nobody reads business plans anymore. Okay. So it's, and usually, right now when most business owners go to a bank, they're told to fill out an application, and when they're denied, they're what they're told you receive a letter in the mail, and they generally receive this canned response email that is not very clear as to why they were denied. So business owners desperately need good brokers that understand the different products in the marketplace, that understand the different underwriting standards that are out there. There's a huge need for it. So the purpose was to serve business owners to help them understand where they come from, or where they stand, the different products that they're available in the marketplace and how underwriters think. But a bigger purpose arose when, I started noticing a huge pool of my referral partners were actually brokers. So I was like, wow, okay. Well, coming 2022, I came up with an idea of, what if I was able to teach people what I do? And that's all of this stuff came about, and how I expanded on, now I've gotten the clarity with the three paths of lending piece of it. But now what I need to do is to create systems in place to help my brokers, in case brokers were interested in doing this. So that's, in essence, very long-winded answer, my value that I bring, what makes me different than my competitors is I have the clarity as it pertains to the product, and I offer the systems in place for you to be successful in the marketplace, because just having the clarity of the products is not enough. You have to have the right system, and that's part of the execution. That's why I started this with it takes passion plus execution to equals results. The clarity is just part of the passion, but the execution part is having the right system in place in order for you to be able to serve your clients and do it properly. Now, going back to me reflecting on my idea, it's been a year, and I was watching this video, Diary of a CEO. This guy, sometimes when I'm working, I try to put some some podcast or something in the background, and we're listening here to the CEO of Netflix, and he's talking about how he started. Netflix, they came up with the idea in like 1997, and this is at the time where they had VHSs, and he came up with an idea. What if we started a rental store where people would rent movies and we would ship it to them and then they would ship it back? And on this section right here, which I'm going to let it play out, they talk about the importance of testing your product. And this guy said immediately after they come up with the idea, they turned around, they went and bought a VHS tape and they put it in the mail and they shipped it to test that to see if it would work. So what I've been going through this past year and how this reflects back to, what I'm talking about right now is Broker Solution Academy has been the testing phase for the last 12 months. Kind of just getting a sense of what we can offer, how we can help our clients, and if this idea actually truly works. But let's listen to, this guy who's way more successful than me and his thought process and how he tested, how he looks at testing, the importance of stress testing your idea.
But I didn't understand this when I started my career. So I know that there's a lot of people listening right now that are probably right in the moment you've described. They've spent a year building up this thing in their bedroom. For anyone that can't see, he's got his head in his hands. They've spent a year in their bedroom building and working on this project. Why is that a terrible idea?
It's such a waste of time, because what happens is two things happen. One is this idea becomes so large and ornate and complicated in your head that you go, okay, Mark, I didn't need to get started. I need to raise $5 million because I'm going to have to hire all these people to build this thing. And they're probably building absolutely the wrong thing. You can't just go ahead and base on what you think is going to happen. You've got to start from a position of real information. Listen, perhaps the cleanest way, since we have a bit of time, is to give you an example. I do a lot of work with university students. And I was meeting with a young woman who at the university, and she goes, okay, Mark, I've got this idea. What I want to do is peer-to-peer clothing sharing. In other words, I've got all this clothing in my closet that I never wear, or I don't wear very often. And I know my friends have a lot of clothing in their closet, and other friends have clothes in their closet. It would be great if we had this website. We could all post what we have, and we could borrow each other's clothes. And I'm going, okay, that's interesting. What can I help you with? She goes, I'm trying to figure out, should I drop out of college to do this? How do I raise the money to hire a team to build this for me? And I went, whoa, slow down here. Okay, interesting idea. But let's figure out if we can come up with a quick and cheap and easy way to collide this idea with reality. And I said, do you have a piece of paper? She goes, yes, smartass. I'm a college student, a piece of paper. I go, great. All right, do you have a marker? She goes, I have a marker. Do you have a piece of tape? She goes, got a piece of tape. I go, all right, I want you to write on the piece of paper, would you like to borrow my clothes? Knock. And I want you to tape that to the outside of your dormitory room. And we're going to find out in the next 24 hours whether the very, very first principle behind your idea is real. Is anyone going to knock? Because if nobody knocks, well, you've learned something very important right there. This thing you think is so attractive might not be. But let's be optimistic. Let's assume a bunch of people knock. Great, you've learned something. But you're also going to learn the next thing, which is, are there problems with fit? Are there problems with style? Are the people who knock and look at your clothes actually going to want any of them? All right, let's be even more optimistic. Let's say they do find out ones they want to borrow. Well, you're going to find out the next piece. How do you feel when your favorite blouse comes back stained or torn? You're going to find out about the cost of doing dry cleaning. You're going to find out all of these things, and you're going to find out all of this with a piece of paper, a tape, and a marker. None of this raising money, dropping out of school, and doing any coding. You're going to do something very simple. Now, is this scalable? No. Is this repeatable? No. But that's fine. You're going to do it all with 3x5 cards or on a pad. You're going to do it manually, and you're going to start losing your mind. But when you finally get to the point where you are ready to go and maybe raise money or drop out of school, you're going to know what you're dropping out of school for. You're going to know what you're raising money for. You're going to be able to tell someone, here's my acquisition cost. Here's my lifetime value. Here's my CAC. You're going to know all of these metrics. You're going to know the complexity. You're going to have tried all these different things. You're going to know what demographic. And you found out all of that for nothing except for your time. That's what I mean by figure out some way to validation hack. And that is the key to being an entrepreneur. You have an idea, quickly, cheap and easy, test it, find out it's ridiculous, abandon it.
So to this point, of course, as I said, I woke up this morning reflecting on Broker Solutions Academy. And I'm so proud of what we accomplished this year. Looking at my system here, we have 43 students so far within the last year, which on average we're bringing in, we're bringing about three and a half students every single month. So we had a pretty good, successful year. Of course, I expected way more than this. And that's where sometimes what I always say, you're drunk on passion. My execution wasn't right. I didn't have a graphic designer that was very consistent that could come back, as quickly as possible. My copy wasn't, very proper. We had some technical issues. We're trying to find the right platform that we're going to be hosting with. We finally ended up on Kajabi. So there's just so much that goes on. And then in addition to all of this, sometimes life happens. And I was still trying to maintain my business as far as Payntech Consulting Group. But I am definitely very proud of what we accomplished. I definitely did test this out. And I've seen just YouTube with some of the audience, because I know some of you are on the back burner trying to see what's going on and if this might work. Because there's some people that I'm always, last week I enrolled 3 students in 1 week. One lady that, hopefully she's going to be a really good student for us. She's been watching us since April. So hopefully you all also appreciate some of the stuff that I've been working on here. This stuff is not easy, okay? So if you do appreciate this stuff, of course, give me a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. This is just kind of the next point that I want to they're going to talk about right here. Because I always say, again, passion plus execution equals results. But we tend to be so drunk on passion sometimes as entrepreneurs. So
it's funny because we're trying to join.
So the next section here, they talk about being too romantic with your ideas. And I remember that phase of my business, and I'm also trying to empower you as my students, as well. One of the big challenges that we face this year is lead generation for the students. And I'm very upfront with all my students when they come in is, I am not going to generate your leads. One thing that we'll do is we'll provide you lead magnets. I have a powerful team. If you want to build a website, if you want to start Facebook ads, if you want to do YouTube ads, whatever it is that you want to do, and getting you the right setup, and I'm definitely always constantly coming up with different ideas on how to support, my brokers. But a lot of people that are getting started with trying to get into the business lending, and they're very passionate. They know, they're ready. I've been in the financial industry for so long. I can do this every day. But getting leads is a huge, huge challenge that most people face. And it's part of the execution piece that we are still trying to work on improving for our business loan brokers, to just try to figure out the best way we can get them to recoup the initial investment. But this next section here is being too romantic about your idea. In my opinion, the way I describe it is being too drunk on passion. But let's go ahead and listen in.
Which is basically a show like Shark Tank, where we see 100 pitches a year from entrepreneurs. And what I observe in some of those pitches, especially when they're a little bit early on and they haven't got product market fit quite yet, there hasn't been evidence that the market actually cares, is a huge amount of delusion. To the point that you could give someone some feedback, but because they've spent 1-2 years of their life and maybe mortgaged their house and invested it into this business, they're they're now in the sunk cost fallacy, which is that sort of cognitive bias where you've invested so much in something that you're basically defending your bad decision at all costs and you can't see the light of day. And that, my first business was the death of my first business. But for many entrepreneurs that I meet, it's quite clearly the death of them. Because if they don't have that humility, if they've got romantic, they can't take any feedback, which is a conflict with what they want to believe.
Steve, you're absolutely right. It is the single biggest reason that either they don't start because they've built this thing up in their head and it's so big and complex that to get started is almost impossible, or
and another thing on that specific point that he made, because I talked about this as well, I was battling with this as I was coming up through Broker Solutions Academy, is the imposter syndrome. So there's just so many different things that go after an entrepreneur when you're getting started with something. So there's this, and I made a video about this. It's going to be a link in the description.
There's going to be a link in the description.
Well, I talk about this.
I'm trying to figure out what to do. My re-entry to
Sorry about that. But the imposter syndrome is one aspect of, as we're talking about this specific topic right here. And, in addition to that, the sunk cost syndrome, where you try to go too much in, but anyway, I just kind of wanted to point that out.
They're so far along, they can't stop. It's tragic in a lot of ways. Which is why you have to start from the belief that your idea is a bad one, because that makes it easier to walk away from it as soon as you realize you were right. But what happens if you can get this discipline of taking your idea?
That's a very strange but powerful message. You must start off thinking that your idea is a bad one. I think this is a way of trying to get you to prevent you from getting too drunk on passion. Okay, so
immediately trying it is almost always takes you in a new direction. Mm-hmm. Yes, the original idea was terrible, but oh my gosh, did you see how this person did? Let's try this. Oh, that doesn't work. Let's try this. And
this is so powerful because when I initially started this course, I started with just the idea of training people how to become a business loan broker, and this has developed into me having an agent course, me having a broker course, me coming up with the curriculum, and basically how to help all brokers. Me having a mini course, me creating a credit card stacking course. So it definitely evolves. I've definitely put my, one of the things, because, when you listen to stuff like this, you reflect on how you executed your specific brand. And I got the idea and I went with it. I sacrificed a lot. I moved to Dallas. I dedicated 1 year where I even, at a limited time, I was accepting clients, only some of my key clients. So I was living off of savings for a while to test out this idea. So this is the year where, hey, is it working or is it not? Do I need to change? Do I need to do something different? And by the way, drop a comment in the description. This YouTube thing, I just got committed within the last year. Is it working? Do you love this content? Do you guys still want me to continue to be on here to give you this knowledge? If you're watching me right now and if you don't drop comments in the description. That's kind of showing me what's going on. But anyway, continuing on here.
That is entrepreneurship. It is just leaping from the back of one alligator to the next. And those alligators just long enough before they sink or before they bite you and you jump to the next one.
I think I found two sort of species of entrepreneur, and the real distinction between them is how long they've been doing it. And one species of entrepreneur that I know, they care entirely about being right, which is their initial hypothesis being correct. And that's typically the young entrepreneur. And then the more seasoned entrepreneur cares entirely about
results,
being successful, regardless of whether it's via their initial hypothesis or not. They care entirely about saving time and being successful, not being right. And I think
Absolutely.
It's interesting that.
Absolutely. I'm gonna wrap it up there. I do have to jump on a Zoom call with one of my students. But I appreciate it, again, celebrating 1 year of Broker Solutions Academy. Hopefully you guys see the value that we're bringing to this marketplace. And most importantly, as it pertains to this video, you can tell the difference with my passion, with how I approach this industry. One of the reasons, even how I came in talking shit about my competitors, there was a reason behind that. I'm truly passionate about helping small business owners. I'm truly passionate about helping business loan brokers really come into this industry. Because again, like they always say, small business is the backbone of the economy. And this wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for small business. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I appreciate you for joining me today. Peace, like, subscribe, link in the description. If you want to just know what I'm about, there's a $27 mini course that you want to click a link in the description. Go ahead and jump on there. Focuses specifically on the 3 paths of lending. Now, if you're still broke and you don't want to support me with $27, click the link below and get a free copy of that book. It's an audio book and also a physical PDF. Appreciate it. See you soon.
Anyway, if you've stayed with me through the end, I appreciate you. I really do. Please go ahead and give me a like to the video, subscribe to the channel. And I guess I should go ahead and pay some bills. Let you know what this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Broker Solutions Academy. There's going to be a link in the description. We work with people that are interested in becoming a business loan broker. We have a very comprehensive business loan broker course, and we're going to be teaching you everything you need to know about how to become a business loan broker. Our mission statement is we help business loan brokers understand and simplify the various funding solutions that are available in the marketplace so you can properly serve your clients, stop the endless confusion and self-defeating pointless rat race they're currently in, and grow their business while maximizing profits by teaching them how to become a real business loan broker, not just a referral partner. This video is also brought to you by Pennington Consulting Group, and that's where we work directly with entrepreneurs and also business owners to help them get funded. So if you're looking to start, grow, or even expand your current business, Pennington Consulting Group, there's going to be a link in the description where you can go ahead and schedule a time. And like we always say at Pennington Consulting Group, our goal is to help you reach your goal. Again, thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video.